Hey, what's up, Brian?
Hey, JR.
How you doing?
I am doing awesome. It is a wonderful day. It's gorgeous outside
Yeah, it's pretty
and
nice here. A little warm.
a little warm. Well, we touched maybe 75. It's starting to cool down already.
So, tell everybody about our cool new thing, or should I tell everybody about our
This
cool
guy right here? You mean
that guy right
this
there?
this guy? You tell him. You tell him.
Chill is now a Coro prop available at every U.S. Coro manufacturer, and hopefully worldwide soon. As soon as I make those contacts and send them the file, also. But yeah, Chill will be available at every Coro manufacturer. So you could pick your favorite Coro guy and buy yourself a Chill, the only singing face snowflake around. So I think that's going to be cool. I'm going to have one at least in my drive-through and one in my house display.
Definitely.
I think David Peace already said it's going to be the MC to his history display.
I think so. I think he said that earlier today.
Yeah, he did.
History Park?
No, I'm History Park. He's
Your History Park. What's he? History Museum?
I think I don't know. He's going to get mad at me about this.
I know. Like, we should know this, shouldn't we?
We should actually record a show because we have somebody way more famous than us on the show today.
No kidding. You want to get started?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Professional Triers with J.R. Matos and Brian McVeigh.
Oh,
Look at that. The cat shirt and all.
got to represent it.
Fancy cat shirt. He says he never wears that, but I feel like every time I've seen him, he's had it on. So I think
You've only seen me twice, to be fair.
Yeah.
And
Two
both
at a
times it's the
time.
same shirt. So.
Same shirt.
I had to go find it. I threw it in the laundry after the mini, and I haven't I was like, babe, where is it? I felt like Incredibles. Where's my super suit? You know, I couldn't find that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But Mitch is actually way more famous than us because he went super viral with his house, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah,
I'm cool.
he's way cooler than us.
I haven't been on TV. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you kind of were on TV though.
Eh,
Made it to Good Morning America, didn't you?
like our show did, which I like so much better instead of me. It's way better to look at than my ugly mug. So
Yeah. I just make sure you have the cat shirt ready for when you're on the news this year.
There you go.
oh gosh.
Like to see it. All right.
Hopefully you pull it out of the closet, not the hamper.
Yeah. It's really actually kind of wrinkly. I'm glad you can't see on the camera because down here I stop at ironing the cat shirt. That's not going to happen.
We can't have any wrinkled shirts on the show, JR. Gosh.
What? I'm wrinkled.
As
Yeah,
I'm,
I just got this off the workbench back there. All right, so let's go into our real questions now that we've hyped you up so much to everybody.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. Well, Mitch Faas. I am currently in Saratoga Springs, Utah. We moved up here just a couple of years ago, though. I'm born in Wisconsin, but we spent the last 20-something years down in Arizona. So really, I feel more of like an Arizona native. That's where we kind of got our the light show, kind of the bug, and got ourselves started in Arizona, and then moved down up here, which we'll go into a little bit more later, I'm sure. But I'm in software sales. I work at a company called Qualtrics, so it's software tech sales at enterprise accounts, and it's all across the country. So it's kind of fun, and that helps pay for this expensive hobby of ours. So that's the day job.
Right on. Married, children?
Yeah, my wife and I, we've been married 10 years, just going on 11 in February. We've got 4 kids, a 5-year-old and 8-year-old triplets. So that's a little fun little factoid too.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
When he told me at the mini, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Most people forget anything else I say. They're like, oh, you're the triplet guy. And I'm like, okay, if that helps,
And you don't have any gray hair yet?
I've got a couple that my wife likes to point out. So they're there.
They're in there hiding.
We started early though. I mean, my wife and I got married, and she got baby hungry like super quick right when we got married. And I was like, oh, here's a puppy, I'm like, here, cultivate that, grow that. And then boom, a couple months later, oh, here's another puppy, and before you know it, we had 3 dogs. And I'm just like, hey, no more animals, And then, I was like, all right, I think I'm ready, for a kid. And then boom, triplets. And I was like, babe, I'm in sales, and that's the biggest bait and switch ever. I said I was ready for 1. I didn't say 3. So
because you got 3 dogs.
We got 3 dogs, 3 kids, within a couple of years of being married. We got married pretty young too. So started early.
Level it all out.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone down.
Oh, was that you? Okay, I thought it was my computer. I was like,
it was, I think, both of ours.
Yeah. David Peace is checking up on us, making sure we're doing our part. So I guess we already covered question 4. How long have you had a light display?
This will be our 4th official season doing it. We started in Arizona, did 1 year there, and moved up to Utah, and it was awesome because a lot of people, you kind of get, you're kind of stuck in the house that you got. We moved knowing we wanted the right canvas, we wanted the right parking. Our realtor hated us moving up here, man. I swear, because I saw so many homes, and it's like, I'm like, I don't even care what the house inside looks like half the time. Does it have, a nice, is it white? Is it flat? Is there parking across? Am I going to block 14 driveways? And we got a pretty good spot that we finally found. So that was kind of cool to hunt for homes with the light show in mind when we moved up to Utah. But this will be our fourth season doing it.
Nice. At least your wife was fully on board and understanding of what it was.
Oh,
I just got a new house, and my wife is understanding, but she doesn't she did not understand what I was looking for in a house.
Yeah.
Your wife, I think, gets it a little bit more.
Oh, dude, she pulled the first order that we ever did back in 2017. She bought it. That's her claim, saying that she started this. So I can always point to that to her. She ran up the credit card like $2,000 on our very first order, and we haven't looked back since then, man.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll go into that of lessons learned of what not to do for first years later. We've got a couple of those too.
So I may have missed this. I was turning down my stuff, but what was your inspiration to get into the hobby?
I try to point back to it, and we don't have a sob story or nothing like that. It's just I've always liked going around Christmas lights. I grew up, my mom, single mom, it didn't have tons of money, so we always loved going checking out lights and stuff. And when we got married, brand new out of college, 3 kids, before we knew it, right after getting married, money wasn't abounding, so we always find free stuff to go do, and Christmas lights were one of them. And we go get pizza, hot chocolate, drive around, and we would drive an hour and a half to go find good displays, and we just found ourselves sitting in front of anybody with any kind of beat or music for way longer than any other car there. People would come and go, and we were there for glued. We're I don't know how they do this, but we got to figure this out. And we were hooked, on that. So, and we don't have any, I'm in soft tech sales, but I'm not a techie guy. People are oh, you got to know all this stuff. And, if it wasn't for the people in the Zoom room and a lot of YouTube videos, we wouldn't have a display, man. There's just, we've come a long way. Don't get me wrong, but I say we fake it very, very well. Cause there's still so much I don't know in this hobby. So I say, if I can figure it out, anybody can.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat too. I'm not very techie.
Yeah.
But
put smart people around you so you don't have to be smart. That's what I do. So
well, and that's what's really cool. My wife taught a class at the Mini, that a Utah Mini that we just had. And there's certain things that I just know nothing about because I don't have to learn it because she does it. and vice versa. Like I feel like in this hobby, it's usually just like one person and the spouse kind of like tolerates it. But man, I swear I wouldn't be able to do this or know any, there's certain things like that she just does. She builds all the controller boxes. I don't even touch those. Like it's awesome. Like
That is
have that like
honey.
but she won't get up on a ladder. She won't go outside. She's like, you're gonna die on the on the roof one day. And I'm like, well, life insurance is all up to get good to go. So yeah, but it's cool to have that, something that we both can work on together, and a hobby, and we enjoy that, being a dynamic duo for sure.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I don't think my wife would ever put a controller together.
Oh gosh, no.
She
won't even push a pixel.
Yeah. But she lets me push all the pixels. She does a couple and she's like, how are you so fast? She's like, I'm done. You do all this. And I'm like, my thumb's bleeding. And she's like, no, that's good.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty impressive. That's like really impressive.
Yeah. You saw her at the mini, man. I mean, teaching that Singing Faces class.
Yeah.
And again, I don't, if it's not importing a lyric track from somebody else make, I can map it and do it. But like, I don't start from scratch on lyrics. She does all of that. So like, it's cool that, again, I can just let her do it, and I've got my things that I do, and together we put a pretty good show on.
Hey Brian, I feel like we got the wrong one on the show tonight.
Is the missus around? Can we just do a swap out? You want to,
she just flew up from Arizona today, and she slept terribly. So she's like, I'm not jumping on.
Okay, so
like, you can be the face of it. That's fine. But she likes being the behind the scenes and catching
maybe in a
surprise,
maybe a follow-up mini show.
Yeah,
actually, Brian, to be honest, awesome. I think you should have her on Blinky Flashy.
I was just thinking that. Yeah,
Singing Faces, because the class that she taught about Singing Faces and the unique way that she does the phonemes is pretty impressive. Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, this is very cool. Definitely. I'm gonna write that down because I got CRS. So tell Clyde I'm pulling out my notepad again.
Yeah. So besides having triplets, tell us something that nobody really in the hobby knows about you.
When it's not light show, like I'm like the biggest personal finance nerd that you'll probably find. Like I love, like retirement. I love talking about taxes and monies and side hustles and like just setting myself up so I can retire early, and like just, I probably could have by now if it wasn't for this hobby, maybe, I don't know, but like there's a lot. But yeah, I'm a personal finance nerd, and I love it. And my wife, that's one thing that she won't get behind. She's like, you set us all up, that's fine, but like I don't care. Can I go buy stuff? So there's so yeah, any personal finance people or questions, and I could be your guy on that too.
Nice.
Right on.
That's really cool.
One other thing is we do a pretty crazy, now everybody knows us as like the neighborhood people, and we can go into that, but we do a crazy 4th of July fireworks show too. It's not synced to music or X-Lights or anything, but like
not yet.
Last year it was we made the nudes for that too. Like they came out, and it was really cool. The whole neighborhood pitched in. I got all their money and went to go buy a bunch of fireworks and fuse it all together and put on a great show. It was fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's legal in Utah, fireworks. Like
it is, yeah.
Well, yeah, in most states, it pretty much is.
Okay, Brian, in my state, it's not legal at all. So you should get with our friend Lee Lequins, who professionally sets off fireworks.
I would love. I was like, if I can make money off of that, then I looked into it this year, and it's a really competitive market with those shows and stuff. You got to go get licensed, and I'm like, I'll just stick to neighborhood fireworks shows, and it's another thing that hopefully protects us from the any Grinches around, knowing that I like to do stuff year round as well and make it fun for the whole neighborhood. So we enjoy doing stuff like that for the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. If there wasn't snow, I would be like tempted to move there. It was pretty nice when I was there. Except for that crazy windstorm I got that almost blew me over and the snow. But hey.
That was Mother Nature trying to blow you back home.
Yeah, I think so.
I never thought we'd end up in Utah, man. But like we've only been up here 2 years. Like when we knew nobody here, no friends, no family, and that's another thing. We're like, but just being up here from Arizona, it's gorgeous, and the mountains, and I picked up mountain biking now, and just like being out in nature where Arizona's just like ugly and desert, and it's its own kind of beauty. And it's like, no, it's not. It's ugly. It's a dry heat. Yeah, it's 120. So, I don't know. We like Utah though, but we're not like born and raised,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you handle the snow? It's cool.
It surprisingly, where we're at least, we're pretty close to Utah Lake. So being so close to a body of water, I don't know what I've had to shovel snow maybe 5 times the entire 2 years that I'm living here. Like it's just, and strategically, we didn't know about this when we were looking at buying homes, but the way we faced east-west, like the snow melts way faster than like if you were north-south. Not, again, being from Arizona, it's not something we thought of, but we definitely benefited.
That wasn't on the checklist. That was like,
no, like it wasn't, but I have a cul-de-sac right in front of me that I'm looking at, and their whole driveways will stay, their snow will be there for a week later, and ours usually melts the same day. Like it's so crazy that, and so yeah, that's nice. We don't really have to deal with a lot of snow, at least where we live in Utah.
Okay. And so before we get to our normal speed round, oh wait, we have another question. But I feel like this is not fair because your wife is way into this, probably more than you. But I guess we should ask the last one. How does like the rest of your family think of your Christmas hobby?
I mean, they're behind it. Again, nobody lives up here in Utah. I mean, they like it when we did our first one in Arizona, and they put up with us when we come down for like, we were just down there in July in Arizona, and we're showing them our like X-Lite previews of like the next song, and like they think it's cool, but like they're like, guys, it's August. I'm like, yeah, we got to plan that far ahead for these sequences and stuff. So I wish we had people closer to help out and stuff sometimes, but nobody really cares as much as we do. But they all enjoy it. They want to come up more, but they really haven't yet since being up here.
Are the 8-year-olds starting to get into it at all, or
they like they call the people that come by our fans. They like I think they're getting to the age now of like people in their classes being 8-year-olds, like, oh, you're the Christmas lighthouse, and like it helps with their street cred, I guess, but it's it's fun. It's cool that they get behind it, and they beg every night to go out there and hand out candy canes, so or chocolates, and we do that a lot. So we I always put in for a couple thousands orders of little candy canes and stuff. So they like doing that. And what's your favorite song? And they go out there and just enjoy and seeing the kids, laughing and talking with them and stuff. So it's cool. They're getting to the age where they're liking a lot more, where before it would kind of like tick me off a little bit. We'd like, hey guys, let's get in the car, let's go see like light shows and stuff, and we pull out our driveway and they're like, oh, let's just park here and watch. And they're like, what is this? No, I want to go see a real light show. And I was like, you guys are so jaded, you're so spoiled. Like, then we go to like other people's homes, and I think they just like others better because they're around it so much. But now they're into it a little bit more than the last couple of years, where that one year I was like, what do you mean a real light show? I mean, guys, we got a pretty good one, I promise. That was funny.
Yeah, last year it was funny. My son, he was 8 last year at Christmas, or around Christmas, and his teacher showed the news broadcast that I was on, and she started asking him, would you help dad out with the show? And he's like, oh yeah, all the time. Yeah. And she's like, well, what's your favorite song or show? And he's like, oh, I just love them all. And he was like 10 feet tall that day. It was awesome, but he don't give a rat's patootie out here for it. So.
Hey, you want to earn that interview? Put some pixels. No.
Yeah, no, Dad. I got VR headset. Somebody's he's got to go. Yeah.
No, the family though. This is funny though. My sister did send me. They're like, oh, you love Christmas. This is the only inflatable that you'll ever see me have. And I love Elf, don't get me wrong, but they're like, oh, you could put this in your display. And I was like, sorry, I mean, I'm not throwing like this random elf inflatable in the, it doesn't, but he maybe pops out like a window from time to time so you can see him from the inside of the house. But yeah, this is the only inflatable, and that's what the family sent as a gift for the show.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, that's cool.
One inflatable.
So before we go into our speed round, talk to us a little bit about your going viral last year, what song it was, and who did the sequence and everything you kind of shared in Utah about it.
Yeah, well, that one was cool. So Rob Gray is a good buddy of mine, just naturally through kind of us talking, and he owns a Visionary Light show, Visionary Light, VLS, yes. And so he had this Hamilton sequence that I saw like way back when, and we're not like diehard Hamilton fans or anything. We went to New York. I won a sales, vacation. I won a contest, and they flew us out to New York, and we were literally like 3 rows back on Hamilton on Broadway, and like it was awesome. But like I had never heard anything Hamilton before, didn't know what the hype was about, and then we got there, and they're like, "How much are these tickets?" I'm like, they were like $1,500 a pop, and I was like, wow. I would never pay this. Good thing we won it, and it was a fun trip. But like afterwards, we're like, that was a really cool show. I mean, we got the hype after we were like there. So we've always liked the music. We saw that. I talked to Robert, and he's like, yeah, I made the sequence. I've never seen it, but it was somebody else that wanted it, so I made it. And I was like, I'd love to throw that in our show. And we put still, I mean, she did the lyric track for Hamilton, my wife, Shannon, and we gifted that back to him actually as a thank you. And I mean, she spent 20 hours on that lyric track alone, because it's fast, it's rapping, it's quick, and really doing her thing. But long story short, yeah, we made it our own. I like to add little GIFs and funny images, and and really create it, make it our own on our display with even any sequence that we purchase, just to make my humor, what I think is humor, kind of come through the sequences. But it was cool. Yeah. Just shut up. But there's we had it, and we could tell it was getting some traction, and we almost cut it out at first because it's 5 minutes, and we were getting some traffic, and it's hard to condense a show when we had that and Star Wars, which is a 5-minute loop, then Hamilton's a 5-minute loop, and that's 10 minutes within 2 songs, and everybody was coming for those 2. And then I'd get like the Karens be like, oh, there's no Christmas music at this Christmas show, bad Yelp review. And I'm like, okay, I'll give you your money back. I whatever. So, but it got some traction, and for a little bit, somebody reached out on our Facebook and says, hey, Lin-Manuel's dad is trying to get a hold of you guys. And we're like, what? Like that's kind of cool. So he was on Twitter, like asking about, hey, what is this? And, anybody know about this? Because our charity was United Way of Utah County. We wanted to do something local and, make sure the dollars, anything we raised was given back to local families. And he was trying to figure out if this was like something they commissioned or paid for or anything, or like if people were making money off it. And I was like, oh man, don't sue me. Like, that was my first worry, but it blew up from there, with we're like, oh, if his dad saw it, then we're sure Lin-Manuel, who wrote everything Hamilton and starred in it, will see it. And then like before we know it, Hamilton official Facebook, Twitter, not PayPal, yeah, Twitter, all their social media. I wish they're PayPal. Instagram, they all shared our video on our Facebook onto that, and then that blew up like crazy. And before I knew it, I looked down, we had donations going in on our Venmo, and I looked down, and it was Lin-Manuel sent me $1,000 for a charity for and he said, amazing display, happy holidays, siempre LMM. And I was like, no way, this is real. And it was like his little mugshot, like right there on his Venmo. And so I was like, wow, that is really, really cool.
That's super cool.
That is very cool.
That's our real, our claim to fame. And then it went on, and, I think it had all in all 3 million plus views on social media from the Hamilton, and that was cool because people would be sending us like videos of their kids dancing like on our show, like on their big screen, where they would like blast it up on that, and they're all like singing and dancing with Hamilton, and it was a really cool experience to see that go crazy, not just for local people, but then from every country imaginable. People
To
were
reach
sending
out.
love
Yeah.
from Australia, Brazil, Germany. That was really cool to see come through. So that's the one-time shot there. Probably won't happen ever again. So our 15 minutes fame came and went, but it was a fun little ride. But then we got slammed with traffic, and that's a whole different story.
Yeah, of course.
Get on TV, traffic is a problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could be able to handle this round, but this is our speed round.
I got
Honey,
you.
what controllers do we use? Hopefully she wrote notes on your sheet.
Just because I don't build them doesn't know.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
anything about them.
I know. I'm just teasing you.
Let me read her text really quick.
All right, so this is the speed round as fast as you can.
Hi.
Tell us everything about your display.
Okay.
Go.
What you got?
Huh?
Go.
What do you got? What do you got?
You're supposed to tell us
You're
everything.
telling us what you got.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask us.
Speed
Ask
round.
me questions. Okay.
Just
Cool.
blast it out.
Just blast it out.
So we've got 2 alpha picks, 3 F16s. We're running on those. We got everything on FPP. We have about 15,000 pixels or so. Some of them are stripped, so I don't really count all of that. 12 volt X Connect. And I think that was most of the, what else? What did I miss?
I don't think so.
I think it did pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you use X schedule or FPP?
Oh, we-
FPP. Cool.
Yeah. For Raspberry Pi.
Oh yeah, my
Just
favorite.
Sitting out in the garage.
That's the only way to go, in my opinion. But
Hey, you know what? We're not going to have this talk.
we're not discussing that, man.
No. I happen to be a fan of the X scheduler.
I mean,
Well,
my kids don't want their laptops being thrown in the garage. They like their games and their homework and stuff on it. So we don't have spare laptops when you got 3 8-year-olds.
yeah, they're games, not the other stuff. But
Actually, I have got one of those little, they're like $49 on Amazon, the little tiny PCs.
Okay,
My show off of on X scheduler. And then I have a monitor.
nice.
Because I like being able to pull up X lights right on that computer and screw with it and then send it back out.
Yeah, that works.
yeah, I can do mine from walking around
Definitely
my
like using
driveway.
the Falcons a lot better than those Alpha picks because you can connect to them remote. A lot more remote than we've learned. That's some of the maybe that's later questions down the road of what things we would do
Yeah.
differently. But yeah, we don't have to talk about that right now.
A lot of people have made that mistake. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
All right, Brian. I've been talking a lot. You take the first few questions.
All right. Well, I am going to start out with what is your favorite prop that you have in your display?
My favorite is our newest one. At least this last year, we were gonna do a walkthrough tunnel. I loved it. I bought this greenhouse and over our sidewalk and everything. And I was like, oh, that'll be really cool. And we did all the X lights and we're like, oh, it's gonna look super cool. But then I looked more and more at it. I'm like, nobody's really gonna see unless they're walking through. And like, I don't want people walking through even the sidewalk or people are parked up through. So we took a pivot late last season, and my favorite prop was we created the garage matrix on our 2-car and our 3-car garage, and we made that a lot more fun for whole house effects and images and gifs and all kind of things on that, which was fun. But that was something I shared at our mini, was making it still functional so we could get the cars in and out, and that was kind of fun to engineer and make sure that my wife could get her car out and to and from kids to school and stuff. So yeah, love the garage matrix. It added a huge wow factor from previous year to last year, and it's still one of my favorite things just to to be a focal point without it being like a P5 and just a straight TV or something. Nothing against that. That's a lot of people's things, but we think it has a better unity to the rest of the lights and show.
Oh, heck yeah.
On the garage matrix. So love it. I love it.
Very cool. Oh, JR, you're muted. You went quiet on us.
Oh yeah, I muted it.
Okay.
The way he designed how the matrix lifts up so you get the car out and stuff like that is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
I do have pictures though for like how it's, you know, the J bolts, and I have bungees on the inside of the garage, and you just grab it and pull it up, and you can get cars in and out. And actually was I think the Trista lights was I first saw something like that, and it wasn't their permanent solution. They said they just did something temporary for a light fight for the people to get their equipment in and out of the garage. And I was like, well, I could work off of that and make it very functional. So that was cool.
You just did a walkthrough. You just posted a walkthrough video here not too long ago.
I mean, on the Utah page, I did, just because in reference to the Mini. But I mean, I've shared our walkthrough last seison.
Okay, I think I just recently watched it. So
okay. It takes us. I mean, it's 30 minutes long, and I timestamped like every category, subcategory. So if you want to jump to just the garage build, or the mega trees, or the starburst on the top of the roof, and how we made that structure, it was kind of we can jump through. So yeah, we'll throw a link to the YouTube video there if people want to check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll have all the links to his walk around, his Hamilton display, and everything in the description for sure. A lot of cool stuff going on with this stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of cool stuff. And there's some secret stuff next year that I won't talk about, but I saw in his vice presentation.
I saw something on your website that I might need to MacGyver it up. Something about a PVC bendable joint fix. I think I saw something like that on your website. So
yeah,
that's maybe something like that.
Stuff, yeah.
I might have to use my little gift card that I got from the Utah Mini. I'm gonna make sure to hide that code or whatever it was. So
it's just there's an email on there. So yeah, have you had any? Oh, sorry.
Oh,
did you want me to go, or you want? Okay.
No, you're supposed to be answering by asking a bunch of questions.
Did you have you had any problems with your neighbors? And if so, how did you deal with it? How do they feel about your show?
I mean, most people have been very, very supportive, and I think we go out of our way to not just be like friendly, or good neighbors like around Christmas time. And I feel like that's, here's a gift basket, and hey, put up with us. It's just, I do a lot of stuff like the 4th of July, the fireworks show. People know us about that. I have I've got a movie room I designed that I love, and that's like my hub. We have game nights over, and all the guys in the neighborhood, for sporting events. And I'm just very open to like, hey, come on over. I don't care. Like, I just like to, especially because we don't know anybody here in Utah when we moved. Well, I'm like, man, I got to really be like outgoing and try to like make friends.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. I just felt like we had that. So most people have been really, really cool, really supportive. There've been a couple people that, with traffic, and I believe me, we never planned to go viral last year. Like, you don't plan or ask. Like, I didn't talk to any news when like people asked to come out and interview or anything. Like, I didn't. And I could say that honestly to my neighbors. It's like, we're not inviting that, but like people took the story and ran with it, and it was great, like just without even asking us a lot of the times. And so like it is what it is. But I gave everybody in the neighborhood my phone number. I said, if you have a problem, talk to me. I'll do anything I can. And somebody did, and multiple times call me, and so now I said, hey, I'll go put cones. I mean, the situation is there's another cul-de-sac just past our house. And so people were blocking to get to our house, the entrance to their cul-de-sac. So they felt like they couldn't even like come or go. It's not like their driveway. It's just to get into their cul-de-sac. So I said, hey, I've got you. I bought some cones and I go out every night and put cones in front of the entrance to the cul-de-sac so people don't park there. And I'm out there like a couple hours a night, trying to not direct traffic, but just make sure people aren't parked there, and and just trying to make sure everybody's sound's down. And it's a lot of babysitting, and towards the end of the season I was a little bit tired of it, to be honest, just needed a break. So but everybody's been really supportive. Only one neighbor ever has complained in the 2 years we've been doing it here. So
Wow.
I mean, I get it. I get why, she was mad, but I think we're past it. And I talked to the city, like the city knows me by first name basis because of like fireworks and the Christmas lights and I'm trying to do block parties and stuff like that. And, I've asked them, and I've got a buddy who's, like one of our city's representatives. And I was like, and he told me, like, there's been no formal complaints. And as long as there's nothing, like nothing's going to happen, like as long as the fire department or ambulance can fit through. And, we've had snowplows, even when we have people parked, the snowplows can get through, and they said, as long as emergency vehicles can get through or go around and find another way through, we're going to look the other way. And I was like, love it. So we've had good support from neighborhood and city thus far. So knock on wood.
Very awesome.
So tell us a little bit about the evolution. Did you go straight whole new show when you moved, or did you try to bring stuff over?
We did. But our first show was, we did the Matt Johnson arches. We loved those, so we followed that. So those were easy to kind of grab and go and plop on the new grass or whatever. But eaves on a house, you have to rework everything.
Yeah.
And we started with strip. So strip on the eaves, and we moved with the strips on PVC, and that's still what we're running. And I think that's something that we could teach and steer people away from, but I think it gives our show a very unique look when we have a white house, an LED strip is pointed at the house where pixels are pointed out, or they're like different. Like our house glows, and it really does give a different feel to it that I think makes our show a little bit more unique than some of the light shows out there. So that's something that we had to rework and redo, and I hope I never touch another soldering gun in my life, because stuff is a mess. But yeah, we were able to pick up and move pretty much everything we had, but slow and steady. You just kind of add stuff every year.
Very cool.
So so you kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier, but if you started over, what are the lessons you've learned? Clean slate, what would you do different?
Yeah. I would have spent, at least at the time, I mean, even if you stripped, a lot of the time, didn't know this at the end or before, but now you can at least get stripped with like pigtails like soldered already on them. We didn't even do that. Like we just had like the strip, and like we're literally soldering, like the little like microscopic little pieces of copper on each individual thing to even get pigtails or connect them together, or like strip one and it was a nightmare. Like, God, to be honest, we bought it in 2017 and we gave up. We had the strip and we're like, we're gonna do this. We started trying to do that, and the strip, they sat for a whole year. We didn't do anything in 2017. We were literally like, this sucks. If this is what this is, like, we don't want it. Like, so all in all, 2018 was our first year, and we just started too late. 2017, I think they came in like August or September, and we're like, this isn't happening. There's just too much to learn. So probably wouldn't start with strip. And if you are, at least pay like the $2 extra or whatever it is to get the stupid pigtails already on them, because that would save you many, many sleepless nights trying to get those stupid things to even plug in or even light up. They were bad.
Can't believe you spent all that time.
It was a nightmare.
That's crazy.
I never want to do it again. Oh,
that just, I don't even know where to go. That blows my mind that you just spent all the time soldering those on strip. Like
Yeah.
strip is a pain.
Oh yeah, I mean,
One
burn
time for
figures
one
so
project.
so often, burning, trying to get those pigtails on there, or just not even a pigtail, but when you need more and like splicing two together, or trying to connect them. I'm sure there's a better way to do it now if you're going to use strip, but this is 4 years ago when A, we didn't know what we were doing. Two, we were just like, let's try to figure it out. And I'm cheap by nature, so I'm like, oh, we can put those pigtails on, and no, I'll never do that again.
Cheap by nature.
I won
First
some
one.
strips in 2019 and they're still sitting behind me.
Oh, really?
When I'm testing my controller, that's what I use
Yeah.
because they're in here.
Well, then like try to power inject not just the pigtails, but then throw power injection on top of that. And we were using like white wire from like Home Depot, like big fat like wires to try to power inject on top of that. And just, hey, again, didn't know what we were doing, but we got it to work. But I wouldn't wish that upon anybody ever again.
Wow.
I feel like the cheap by nature is going to be a shirt now. Expensive hobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you could travel to 3 shows anywhere on the planet, what 3 shows would you go to?
Planet. Well, I don't.
All right, let's say
I don't-
America.
Yeah, I don't follow a whole lot of international guys, but I know the guys in Australia. A lot of those guys are have some good shows too. But I'm really bummed I never got to go see Larson Lights, and I know they're probably on to bigger and better. But this was their last year at their house. I'm sure they're going to do some other show, but so if they're not around anymore, probably Trista Lights, just because they're one of the first people in another state that I looked forward to, to seeing their show, and really like what they did with the Matrixes on Light Fight several years ago. And that was kind of an inspiration on some of our stuff that we do. So always love their stuff. I'd have to go to, Magical Light shows. Bet George, I mean, he's still one of our favorite to this day. And I think like many people, I'm sure. So I'd see that one. And then I really like, don't know him personally, but Mark Valentine, Bentonville Heartlights. I follow his show on social media for quite some time, and I love what he does with it, and think it's well balanced, and I enjoy watching his show. So I think those would be 3 I would go see, just top of my head.
Yeah, I really like Mark's show. Like, I've been following it on social media for a while too. Mark, he does a great job.
Yeah, it just looks good. I mean, it's massive and spread out, and it's balanced. And again, with a lot of these shows, and that's what I try to mirror mine at. I mean, you can get too crazy and too much props or too anything, but there's that negative space, and we're all a little OCD, I imagine, that the balance, and it has to look good. But I mean, Bet George, he's running 10,000 pixels. And so like what he can do there and make it look that good, it just shows that it's not always about pixel count, and it's about the musicality. And we are so picky on music. You won't catch me running Baby Shark, but it's something that we enjoy. But yeah, we're very picky on music too.
I'm trying to look for the message from Ben George's exact count of his. I don't know if it's a text message or a Facebook message.
Yeah, I thought it was on Facebook the other day because someone was asking about like, what does 10,000 pixels look like?
So for Halloween, he has 8,000 pixels. And then for Christmas, he has 9,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 8 moving heads, or
yeah. And that's kind of, you're like, okay.
And that's, I mean, that is the attraction, is the moving heads.
Someday, but that comes back to my cheap by nature. I'm like, someday I'm going to buy those, but and I'm on his website at least looking at them a couple times a year. And I'm just, I'm like, I got to go sell a bigger deal.
Yeah. I got to win another vacation and be like, money value, please.
Yeah. You can go anywhere in the world you want. What do you want to go buy? Or can I just cash out and buy Bet George moving heads, please?
You just order me a few of these, please.
Yeah. And who needs Bali? No, I need some moving heads.
Is Bali like an option? to get a trip from here to work?
I mean, there's club every year. You know, last year was Costa Rica, and we earned it, but because of COVID, it got canceled. So they did just cash us out, which was nice. So then I, go buy other stuff, but it's still
Why
not
don't
like
you have moving heads?
I went and bought a mountain bike. Actually, that was something I felt like I needed physically for health.
There you go.
Went and got into mountain biking, which was fun.
I would think you would need to replace the strips for your health.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. So I'm just saying, less stress, man.
I need to. Like, I bought Permatrack this year. It's sitting in the garage in a in a box, and I was like, I'll get around to it. I haven't, and so even last year, sometimes the strip still freezes up in the middle of a song. Like it does not getting data, and so I go out there. Sometimes there's like ice on the roof, but it's fine. Like I go out there and like I've got this like long extension pole for our normal eave lighting. We have like lights in the eaves, so you extend it to replace the light bulb, so it extends like 20 feet. So I just go up there and I'm like poking it, and like I could get it to like click back in, but it's super annoying to like have to go out there and people are not seeing the full show when there's like one strip that's just like glitching or it's just frozen. So I need to do a little bit of work this.
Sounds like you need the strip to be replaced.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I got the pixels and the track for it, but I need to experience the Permatrack if I can get the same look that we're used to pointing at the house with it, instead of like at the people. Either down or I gotta have that glow on the house still. I don't want to lose that.
Yeah, you definitely got to put it in or something.
Yeah. So I've got a couple ways, either pointing it down, or he gave me a couple options of pointing at the house. Instead of pointing out, I'll flip it and point them at the house and make it glow.
Awesome.
Very cool. So somebody new getting into the hobby, what is your tips for them?
Don't do strip. So on hold on, we already covered that though. And if you do, at least if you don't touch them and they're permanent, they can last. I mean, there's people that have success. We've had success. We've ran these same strips this will be our 4th year, and they're finicky and not to go up and zip time like crazy to try to hold a connection sometimes. But yeah, don't do that. And then just start. Everybody says start small, but whatever that means, it's to them. I'm not saying don't go buy 10,000 pixels and do it, but like, I'd rather have people, your neighbors kind of can like know what they're getting into, and you build it over time instead of just like, bam, like we're in this. It's you kind of can get them on your side or get them excited about it, but I'm not going to counsel people not to do that. It's just, there's a lot to learn, a lot to do. So just bite it off chunk by chunk, get somebody to help you, your wife like me, so I don't have to learn half the stuff.
Yeah.
If you can do that, then you're set, because there's a lot to learn. So it can be very overwhelming, but there's a lot of good people in this hobby that will take the time to help you out too. And just don't get flustered, just keep going. Because again, I'm a testament of that. We would not be running a show if we didn't have like the networking help in the very beginning. And even like every year, it's kind of like, okay, how do we do this again? You just kind of you kind of forget it. So it helps to go in there real quick. I'm like, oh guys, what am I doing wrong? And there's somebody that's way smarter than I am that says, oh, here, and I'm like, oh, sweet, done, it's working again. Okay, cool. See you next year with that same question.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about my first year at my new house because I bought my house in November. So the person that I bought it from told everybody to watch me on TV. So I think they're all nervous about what I'm about to do here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I didn't get to move in till January, so they didn't see anything I did here.
How's that layout coming?
Yeah, Brian, how's my layout?
Still lost in digital land.
I have a mental layout right now, and I have holes dug for mega trees. So
That's what I wish I would have done differently. We even poured a concrete pad where, like in the third car garage past that, we have a little side yard, and we kind of cut it like half grass, half cement, so we could get into our RV gate.
Yeah.
And like, I wish I would have just poured, like we poured that concrete. How easy would it have been to at least pour a sleeve down for the mega tree? Because it really is like literally 3 feet away where we put the mega tree of where I could have put it. And like, instead of having the ASAP pole and all that, which is fine. It's always worked great. We don't have any problems, but man, if I would have thought ahead just a little bit, it would have been very, very helpful. So,
put a cap on it and pull it in the winter. Yeah.
Boom, done.
What do you think the next must-have prop? I know you got some secret stuff going, so don't reveal that. But
well, it's not not secret anymore because anybody at the Utah Mini. But yeah, I don't want to.
Well, everybody's keeping tight lips, so
his whole hood knows what it is.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. I thought about this question, as far as like the must-have prop, and I don't know. I just feel like there's, maybe it's your frosty snowflake right there, or but I just feel like there's always something else new and cool, and there are different designs, and more competition will keep bringing out more, more cool stuff. And I don't think it's. I can't tell you it's new candy cane or new snowflake. I feel like you're still kind of limited, with Christmas themes and stuff. So I don't see anything revolutionary on, what could be coming out in Coro, but the HD props have gone crazy and all the submodels and stuff like that. So I'm sure they'll just keep pushing the limit of what you can do or can't do on those.
Yeah, that's for sure. They're going to keep pushing those.
So yeah, not a good answer for you on that as far as content, because I don't know. I'm not in that space a lot of the time, but I try to buy something new every year just for something fun.
Mm-hmm.
So let us know or tell us about the most awkward interaction you've had with a guest or a neighbor.
Ooh. So I've got two that come to mind. One's quick and one's funny. We had a light. We've got a neighborhood kind of. He's a Lightning McQueen. It's a a Camaro, like Z71, like nice car, and he's all decked out, Lightning McQueen stuff. And so he's like, hey, can I come by and take some pictures in front of your show or whatever, and park in the driveway and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, sure, come on over, and I'm sure the kids will be happy to see you or whatever. But so he gets here, and everybody's watching the show, and he backs in the driveway, but the driveway is permanently dark, dark on purpose. Like, we don't have anything there, and you want to focus on the house. So, people were like, you can't really see his stickers. You just kind of see it's all shadows and stuff. So like all of a sudden I'm out there talking with the guy, and we're talking shop about his car and stuff. And you hear these kids in the car from across the street say, hey, move the car. Like, they don't know it's Lightning McQueen. They don't know what's going on. They just saw somebody like backed into my driveway, and they thought it was like, rude of them, know. And I was like, hey, it's Lightning McQueen, guys. But like, it was kind of awkward for the owner of the, when he's doing it for the kids, and they're like, move the car. We're here for the show. It's kind of funny.
So I feel like there's more awkwardness to this. There's a gentleman with a red Camaro driving around daily with 95 and lightning bolts on his car.
Yeah. And he's got it's a social media following. I mean, he rents out for kids' birthday parties or, parades and stuff for special events and charitable appearances and stuff like that. And,
that makes a little bit more sense than just,
But it's full Lightning McQueen. He's got it set up for like some speaker to play ka-chow and lightning, so it's kind of cool. It's just,
I guess I can't knock somebody else's hobby. My hobby's Christmas lights.
Yeah. I mean, that's fun. I mean, same thing, smiles on kids' faces, man. I mean, I'm sure he gets plenty.
All right, so where's the other one? I want to hear this.
So we do have one neighbor that's like 2 doors up from like my house in front of us. It's somebody else's backyard, and they don't have a fence. I mean, we're in Utah. A lot of people don't have backyard fences unless you put them up. So they have this long kind of backyard green grass strip, and 20 cars can fit, right there parked on the other side of the sidewalk and watch our show at any given time without blocking a single driveway, which is one of the reasons we picked this, because we're like, in Arizona, we were doing good if we had like 2 people out front. We're like, oh, we've got 3 cars watching our show at the same time, and that was exhilarating for us and fun. We're like, man, people actually like what we do, and that was cool, for us. So the first night last year, though, I like to do a neighborhood only kind of, not soft opening. We run our show, but I don't blast it on Facebook or our page, and we have a decent following on there about like our opening night. So I like say, hey, we're going live on Saturday. I do on Friday night, our neighborhood only, so people can avoid a lot of traffic or anything, and kind of fun. And I want to do a block party and really block it off last year, but COVID ruined that with with Santa and all that. But anyways, we're out in my neighbor's backyard because it's right across our street, and they got a little fire pit, and we go out there, and we're really cool with them, and they've been very supportive because it's right in front of their their maid bedrooms and light their living room and stuff. So but we're out in their fire pit chatting, and the neighbor 2 doors up comes around. She's like, why are all these people parking the wrong way? What are they doing here? And don't they know that they were just kind of talking smack on us a little bit of like, what are they, because this is our first time like seeing it, and not knowing that we were sitting right there around the fire, and she's like, why are people's radios, and can I turn down the music? And like, and the wife's husband is sitting there with us, and I've been talking with him the whole time. He's a chill guy, and she just comes out being a care, just chatting and and so the neighbor like introduced, like, oh, well, this is Mitch and Shannon, that's their house. She's like, oh, just like white face, like seeing a ghost, like just talk. She's like, what? I think it's really cool. And then she like walks away, and we're like, oh my gosh. And so the husband goes over, and she's like, don't worry about her, I got her. She's that way the last 30 years. I can take care of her. Like, she just complains about everything, but don't worry, I got you. You won't hear any problem from us. So she's still one I worry about at times, but again, it's I hope the husband can control her. So we're good.
Yeah, he probably got in trouble for not speaking up early, that you guys were there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was just funny. Yeah. So that was kind of the awkwardness of just hearing her rant on about like what the heck's going on, and didn't know about it, but now she knows that's exactly what's going to happen every day in December. So yeah,
it works.
That's it. So those are kind of 2 more embarrassing or funny moments, I guess.
So I guess the last one we have for this part would be, what makes your show unique? Is there some favorite props, setup? You talked about gifts and stuff that you do on your matrix.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it, with being very picky on the music, we like to have something for everybody. So like, the teenager, we say, hey, you got teenagers, I think they're too cool to go look at Christmas lights with the family. Like, I got you, kind of thing, and then the kids are singing Elsa, or, we got the TS, like we just try to have a very well blended, Christmas, non-Christmas, a good balance, but like fun songs that like everybody can enjoy in the car. Because we go around seeing a lot of lights too, and a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm.
And like, dude, if the kids are not entertained, the parents aren't having a good time, because then like there's plenty of time where I want to stay and watch the show, but my kids aren't feeling it and they want to drive off, they want to go. So like our whole thing is like, if we can entertain the kids, the parents can just sit there and enjoy it, and peace and quiet or whatever, have those family memories or fun like that. That's so like, I won't say that makes us unique, because everybody has music, but like I feel like we spend a lot of time on what's going to make the final cut, not just throw just any songs in there. So I think that's one. And then, I mean, our show, we've got a lot of density on we can do some fun stuff with whole house effects and stuff, but it is, I feel like we have a good balance, but not the glow on the house. Like we talked about that earlier with the strip. I feel like that's really unique on our show. I don't see it a lot in the hobby, probably because for good reason with the strip. I don't recommend it, but it makes us unique, I think. So that's cool. But just then having open space and letting it breathe, you know, in the darkness and not having everything on all the time, or, you know, I see some of it's just like puke of Christmas lights and blinking that don't have any rhyme or reason.
Mhm.
And I come from a music background a little bit. And so it does mean something, that it has to make sense, and it's a song, a dance, and you know, and I think that goes a long way. Just having a very enjoyable and emotional, people can get emotion out of watching it, then we've done our job, you know, of like,
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
having ladies come up and saying they've cried. I'm like, man, I've got a sequence this year that I'm hoping to at least get 20 people crying a night. Like that's my goal, you know. I'm like, this whole holy night, I'm like, you are going to cry if you have a soul. So that's what I'm after.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
So now it's time for our rapid fire questions.
All right.
And they go all over the place, but I always ask the same first question. What color is your toothbrush?
White and orange.
You're very basic. I thought it was cats.
Yeah.
Says
Or-
meow.
Also have another one. It's black, and it's the electronic one that I like. But when that one's not charged, the white and orange one does just fine.
All right. Mayonnaise or Miracle Whip?
You know, we switched to this avocado mayo from Costco.
I'm just going to
Are
stop
you
asking
sure you're
that
not
question.
from California?
I'm done with that question. I'm not asking it. No
Very
more.
basic California right there.
Well, they make an avocado mayo.
I mean, I wish I had California avocados like that. You know,
Wear Uggs?
what was that?
You wear Uggs?
No.
Okay, good. I was just checking with that avocado mayo. I thought maybe you wore Uggs.
No.
Okay.
I flipped some Uggs on my side hustle before, but you know, buy them low, sell them high.
Nice.
Buy more pixels.
Side hustle for pixels.
Yeah.
All right. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Why?
I don't know. That's how I feel. My opinion. I mean, I don't know. I've never considered it a sandwich, I guess.
It's a standalone.
Yeah.
All right. If peanut butter wasn't called peanut butter,
I hate
what
that.
would it be called?
What would it be called if it wasn't peanut butter?
Wasn't peanut butter.
Nut spread? I don't know.
That's a pretty common name for it.
It is. That's what we've been getting.
Yeah, a lot of people want a nut spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Haven't thought about that one before.
Yeah.
That's what they're for.
There you go.
Yep. That's what all these questions are for, to make you think about stuff you've never thought about.
Yeah.
Is cereal actually a soup?
No, I mean, I get no. I'm just gonna go off no on that one. I don't think it's a soup.
Now you're going to ponder this, though, for a while.
Yeah,
No reasoning, just no.
a soup and a sandwich on. I mean, cereal.
He's gonna be laying in bed tonight going, my God, these guys.
My wife's like, what is he thinking about? I'm like, oh, the cinnamon toast crunch soup.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I just say no on that one. I don't know. There's not a lot. Maybe this, like, soup is warm. I mean, maybe a cold bisque or something like that. Do you eat cold? Soup cold? I mean, no, that's gross. Like chicken noodles, you gotta warm that up. So nobody's eating warm Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Have you tried warm Fruit Loops, though?
Ooh.
Yeah, I have. I had warm milk the other day because my kids left it out all night, and I didn't realize.
Yeah, been there.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I better finish this milk.
Put the milk away at least.
Shoot. If animals could talk, what animal would be the rudest to talk to?
Oh, definitely. I don't know. We just went to the zoo today. So what else we got? Rudest. Feel like just like an opossum would just have like a lot of attitude.
Oh, yeah.
You just kind of look at
Can
them and
see
they just
that.
like kind of sit there, just like, they're just kind of in their own thing, just like wouldn't give you the time of day. So I think a possum would be pretty rude animal.
I don't know. The cat on your right shoulder looks like it has a lot of attitude.
Yeah. I need to make it like meowy Christmas going across my chest or something like that. It's gonna be a new cat following. Yeah, I mean cats could be pretty stuck up too. So I see that.
The Christmas cat guy.
Yeah. What? See, Brian, we named him that at the mini, and you didn't even know that.
I may have seen it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, it's fun. Yeah. The story behind this was my boss at work. This was like a punishment to wear this if you didn't like make enough calls or set enough meetings in the week, and I'm in sales. So like once he got done with that punishment, he's like, I'm gonna throw this away. And I was like, dude, I'd actually wear that. So like, can I have that? And he's like, take it. So again, it's sat in my closet, but it's the mini and tonight are the only 2 times I actually remember wearing it. So
A special occasion shirt. Everybody's got to have it.
you know.
Yeah, heck yeah.
To see
Kinda different.
you get on the news, I want you in that shirt.
Oh no.
We will make it worth your while. If I see you on news in that shirt, we will send you a chill Coro Prop.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, this one's unique to you because you were so good at them at the mini.
Uh-oh.
Tell us your best dad joke.
Oh, Christmas related or not Christmas related?
Let's go Christmas related because you had a bunch of them at the mini.
Oh man, I had a worksheet on some of those. I just had
Studied up for the mini. Not many
Well,
people
I
do
mean,
that.
we had a lot of downtime, I felt like, so I had to kind of fill the void with some dad jokes. Okay, appropriate or not appropriate is the real question.
David's son edits, so we got to go appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the snowman doing at the vegetable section at the grocery store?
Picking out his nose.
He was picking his nose.
Oh,
Ah.
Picking out his nose, picking his nose,
Yeah.
and the carrots.
It's the only thing I could think of.
Oh, that
It
works.
was too easy.
that was a dad joke, though. That was definitely a dad joke.
Wah-wah.
That was a
Okay, so my last one. What superpower, if you could have a superpower, what would your superpower be?
Oh, superpower. I mean, I think it would be pretty cool to fly.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, I like cars. I like driving my car, but it'd be cool just to like kind of take off and just
Be easier to fix
cruise
those.
and silent, not silence, but like just kind of just cruising around. I mean, there's so much cool things to see, and just kind of flying around, you'd be kind of have a bird's eye view, literally.
Well, it would be easier to fix those strips that
Yeah.
are, you wouldn't need
Yeah.
your pole for that.
Yeah, the pole or the ladder.
I was going
Yeah.
to say that, Brian. He's the first person to say that flying would be a superhero, and
Yeah.
his reasoning had nothing to do with putting up his display.
Yeah. That was
Everybody
awesome.
else is like, I'm going to fly so I don't have to use
But-
a ladder.
See, and I was even going there because I'm thinking, man, I'm putting my J buds in and just listening to the tunes and
Yeah.
cruising up in the out. Oh yeah. I was there with you. That was awesome.
But no, if I could just sit there and kind of levitate and fix it instead of worried about, being on a ladder up on the second story eaves when there's like kind of some like dew on the roof. Yeah, that's kind of sketch. So
Hey, I'm not going to lie. If I could fly, I may nightly put a Coro Prop on my chest and just hover above my roof.
Tell you had to go pee.
Maybe see if I could like dance in a sequence and move around.
That'd be
I
awesome.
remembered a better joke about Christmas related. If you want to edit that other one in, I'll let you guys pick.
Oh no,
You just tell us this one.
you could tell us, yeah.
Oh, okay. I told it this one I remembered from the mini. It said, and it's more relevant to all us in the hobby. It says, Why is Christmas just like a day at the office? You do all the work, and the fat guy with the suit gets all the credit.
I remember that one at the mini. That was a good one. That actually was pretty good.
Okay. Maybe throw that in there in the other edit one for that.
Redemption.
No, we'll get them both.
We'll get them both. We got to hear both ends of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The famous last rapid fire question.
Uh-oh.
You had to hang out with one of us. Would it be Brian or JR?
Oh, that's rude. That is rude.
But we do it.
Well, Brian, I just met you. You seem like a chill guy. I've only met JR in person, so I got the vibe that I was like, I know I could hang out with you on the side and I'd be chill. So I'd say JR, but Brian, no offense to that, but I look forward to it in real life sometime soon, my man.
Cool.
All right, I have this.
Oh, yeah, whoops. Yeah, nice, JR.
Well, thanks, Mitch. This was a lot of fun. Really appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah, now I'm gonna get back to sequencing. Thanks.
I thought your wife did that.
Oh, is it time to wake up to
Oh yeah.
Time to wake up your sequencer.
I do some sequence in there too. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy putting it together. I mean, you're proud of it too. So I mean, even purchasing any sequence, like I still slave over that and make it unique, something different than anybody else's, because there's some pride to that as well. Even one. So, and you got to make it look good in your house. I mean, I don't care. Even if you buy one, like just it's not gonna look good just by throwing it in there. Yep. There's a lot of
you got a lot of tweaking. Yeah, oh yeah, heck yeah.
Nice.
So, good stuff.
All right. Well, thanks again for being on the show. It was a lot of fun. It was
of course.
Gonna be a really good episode.
Good times hanging out.
Thanks, Mitch. It was a pleasure meeting you, bud.
That was well, Brian.
Oh, Brian. So my boss suggested a ending line for you. You know
Which
how you
one
were
was
looking
that?
for one at our first.
Yeah.
Number? I think it should be. He thinks it should be lights out.
Lights. Oh, I like that. Lights out. But we can't
do the rest of it.
Oh man.
But people could.
Lights out, kids.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hit a button because I think we should bring Santa back. Also, hang out with Chill. So
I think that'd be
subscribe to get on the nice list.
And then we'll see you guys hopefully next week because we are trying to do this weekly.
Definitely. All right.
Ryan, use your tagline.
Lights out.